Today I'd like to share an exercise to improve your horse's steering and coordination using 4 ground poles in a little bit of a different setup that you can make 2 different exercises. Actually, you can make even more exercises, but we're just going to go over 2 today. I'm Callie. I'm here with Allie and with Amiano, and it's a nice sunny day. Amiano is starting to doze off here a little bit in the sun, but we're glad to have you with us. And I'm sharing this exercise from my book, Stay in the Saddle, 67 Exercises for Horse and Rider. And this one is Ride the Box. So I really like this one for just changing the way that I use poles, to use them in a slightly different way. It helps with steering. You're going to see as we go through this, we're using a lot of, we're using circles, we're using bending lines. So it helps with the developing the horse's bend and the evenness side to side. And it also helps with just their coordination and their awareness of their feet going over the poles. So we've got this set up behind, and as Amiano wakes up, Allie's going to take him out and start to ride the first of the 2 patterns that we're going to show through this box of poles. So first, Allie's going to work on developing the walk, getting a nice rhythm and forward movement at the walk. And then when she has that, she's going to come in and she's going to essentially be creating a figure 8 kind of pattern over the poles. So she'll come in at one end, and then she's going to go. She can turn either right or left and come up over the other 2 poles. So she's coming in over the center. As soon as she goes over, curving around. And this is really nice because as you go through the middle of the poles, you want to allow the horse to go straight as they're going over. So it helps with this change from straight through the center of the poles to then bending to come around the turn and then go over the center the other direction. And you can keep doing these like kind of in the same pattern one direction. You can change it the next time, turn right or left, to be able to work both sides. And then if you're comfortable for you and your horse, you can take this up into trot. And that's when I put the exercises into this book, the ones that I used most commonly with students and with horses, I always tried to work on them that they could be made more difficult or more easy, whether they were exercises for the rider or exercises for the horse. So Allie, if you're comfortable, go ahead and pick up a trot and then just make the space that you're using larger to accommodate the trot. And same thing, she can pick up the trot, wants to find that rhythm first before we come in. So it's always thinking about, in training exercises, setting the horse up to be able to do it well from the beginning. So taking the little extra time to have a nice rhythm before coming into the poles in this case. And as you go through here, really think about taking your hands lateral. So instead of pulling on the inside rein, using that outside rein to help push him through the turn and to help keep the horse, to help keep more straight so that he doesn't have that kind of lean through his outside shoulder as he comes around. Nice. Okay, and then after this pass, go ahead and come back to a walk. And we're going to move into the next pattern through this. So you can pick any corner of our box here, and you're going to essentially ride the corner, but you want to try to pass through the middle of the 2 poles creating that corner. So you actually have to come in on a fairly large circle and just let that corner of the box be part of your circle. So see here, she comes over right over the center, tracks through the center of the box and right out over the other one. That was really nice there with the bend. Go ahead and just ride that one more time at walk for us. So this is another example of Think about your outside hand just lifting a little and coming slightly towards the wither to help create that evenness, and let him walk out a little more so he can kind of stretch his neck over. Yep. Little more of the outside rein closing there if he starts to drift out. So here she's moved up and she's coming through the box now around the corner in the trot. And the same thing, you just take as much space as you need. You can do a bigger size circle in order to accommodate the higher gaits, in this case the trot. And this really gives the opportunity now of working on maintaining this circle as the horse finds a space over the poles. And that time he drifted out, he got a little bit more to the outside of the second pole, not a big deal. You can see here too that as she comes around once, if she doesn't have the right impulsion to go the second time, she just goes around again and then can come through again. It's the perfect rule in schooling is it's never so much about getting the thing done, but about supporting the horse, finding the right balance, doing what you need to do in between in order to have a really nice ride through. So this is the Ride the Box exercise from Stay in the Saddle, 67 exercises, one of the 67. You can learn more about the book in the link down below. And as always, I would love to hear from you. What is one pattern that you enjoy riding with your horse? Put it in the comments. As always, I will see you there. And I would love to have you check out Stay in the Saddle. We have videos like this one to go with every one of the exercises, so that you not only get to read about the exercise and have this guide to take with you to the barn, but then you also get to see it in action and see some of the common troubleshooting for every exercise.